All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our latest walk-in talk. Today, we are truly going on an adventure. Jeremiah, why don't you tell us about what we're going to be doing today?
We are going to be strolling Islands of Adventure. I cannot remember the last time we did a walk and talk from this park. I do remember one time we did it and we put it out on X, and the Universal Orlando uh, social media team decided to jump on, and they talked me into going on Pluto's Build Ranch barges live. That was an event.
Oh, no.
Today we're just going to be walking. Today is a big day for Universal. The latest in the Jurassic World film franchise opens. Jurassic World Rebirth. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, and we both have a fun relationship with the Jurassic series because you worked Jurassic Park at Islands, correct?
I did. I was there right after the opening summer in Universal Hollywood. I know that attraction inside and out. I also, one of my biggest date stories was I was up on City Walk and found out way back in the day that the original Jurassic Park was playing a day before it was supposed to open. So I talked to my girlfriend's mom at the time, because I was 17 and she was 16, into letting me take her out on a school night to see Jurassic World or Jurassic Park. And uh, my love of that movie still stands, and I don't know where that girlfriend is now.
Such is life. Um, Wait, so you worked Jurassic at Universal Hollywood?
Correct, the original.
Oh, cool. I opened Jurassic World, so we got our
Hey, look at that.
yeah.
Yes, I was part. I wasn't part of the opening team of Jurassic Park there. They decided to keep me up at Back to the Future. Yes, I'm really showing my age now. As a seasonal supervisor, and then right after the summer was over, and that was the opening summer of Jurassic Park, I had one day back as a lead, and then I got a call later that day going, "Okay, tomorrow I'll show up at 6 a.m. at Jurassic Park. You're the new supervisor for that attraction." And
Whoa.
yeah, it was one of those like, this is great. And that was the opening of the attraction. And Jurassic Park, now that attraction and that type of attraction overall is pretty basic. But back then it was brand new. So we had Splash Mountain and some other flume rides, but there was nothing like that with a massive drop inside a building. So we had 24-hour running at times. And there were many nights where I'd be there at 4 o'clock in the morning pushing buttons.
Yeah, I remember those days during Test and Adjust with Jurassic World too. Honestly, being in the park that late, being in the back lot that late is really peaceful and fun.
Oh yes. I definitely explored into the show building, went underneath the drop, would climbed up in areas. Again, I'm glad there weren't cell phones, because I would have been fired many times over for what I would have taken pictures of, or what, I'm sure guests would have been like, excuse me, sir, you should not be doing that.
Also, thanks to Kyle in the comment section, I realized I didn't introduce myself. For those who don't know me, my name is Maxon. um, and I worked Jurassic World at Universal Studios Hollywood. I guess that's my fun fact.
And now you are the social media man, as well as doing just about everything else for Laughing Place.
Absolutely.
So we're looking across at Velocicoaster, the latest in the Jurassic Park World themed attractions. You've been out here and ridden Velocicoaster, right, Maxon?
Yes, I love Velocicoaster.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Velocicoaster is definitely one of the best coasters in, I would say, even in the world.
Yeah.
It has some great, up there goes over the hi-hat, and that pause right there, and then down it goes.
The Mosasaurus roll is something else.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Well, we will probably have some of that footage on our socials later.
Yeah.
So, yes, Islands Adventure. For those of you who don't know, Islands Adventure was Universal's second theme park here in Orlando, but Universal Florida was the first one. This one was designed mostly by a lot of Imagineers who got let go from Imagineering, which is why at the time this this was the new bar for theme parks. And I still think it's pretty high for the bar. They have some great theming and still one of the best attractions, so much so that I think probably the most technologically advanced attraction in the world right now is just a bigger version of that, Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man. I remember I went to Universal for the first time just a little bit after Wizarding World opened up,
Mhm.
and Spider-Man blew me away. Even as like
Yeah,
an angsty 15-year-old, I was like, this is so cool.
no, that is still, that technology still is so amazing. And then, when Epic opened, and I go on um, Battle for the Ministry, and everybody's like, it's just Spider-Man. No, it's not. It's the same type of ride system, but I, I wrote it twice, and my brain still does not comprehend. Nope, here comes Hulk. My brain still does not comprehend how Battle for the Ministry actually works. So good job, Universal.
I am so excited to ride it. I have kept myself in the dark somehow. Haven't seen a POV, haven't seen clips. I've seen like some pictures of the queue, but I'm so excited to get out there and go on it blind and just let it wow me.
Yeah, the first time I went on it, they were, and they still are, very no recording, because apparently anything can trigger that sensor to shut it down. But I went in there completely blind, mostly because the ride hadn't been working prior to me going on it. But it was just, it hurts my brain how amazing that is. Speaking of hurting my brain, look, we have Rogue over on this side, and then over on that side, we have Storm and Cyclops, which doesn't quite make a lot of sense. But I'm guessing Jean Grey is not around. Yes, here we are at Marvel Island, um, based off of comic books, and Islands of Adventure based off of print media and that type of stories. So that's why we have Marvel, Dr. Seuss, Jurassic Park, which was originally a book, the uh, comic strip island, and of course, Harry Potter. So if only there was some major book that inspired a musical play and then a movie that could go into some place where Lost Continent could be. I don't know what that could be, but let's hope.
Yeah, I think you're defying gravity with those expectations
I
right now.
know it's yes, so there's the Adventures of the Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man. Still to this day, one of the best attractions. Um, oh, up here we have let's just say Captain America.
Wait, I don't see Captain America. Oh, now I do. Now I do.
Yeah. Sorry, I've got Rain and the mass of people. She is I understand that they have limits here because they own the comic rights to many characters, and so Cap has to be more of the comic type thing as opposed to Cap in DCA that is the real life Cap.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting to see like even just the difference in vibe at Superhero Island versus Avengers Campus, and
Mhm.
Superhero Island just has, again, it's that 90s theme park vibe that we haven't been able to recapture, and maybe that's
Yeah.
nostalgia, but the bright colors are just so much fun.
Yes, I love walking through here. Oh, good. Here comes some serious rain.
Oh no.
It's
Time to go on
let's just
Blutos.
keep walking.
Embrace it.
Yeah. No, we had the storm earlier, and it was pretty bad. but then it stopped. So I'm just gonna keep walking because so far the rain is just the annoying rain, not the I'm gonna get soaked rain. But I
Yeah.
shouldn't have said that either. Yeah, so here we are walking into Toon Lagoon, and this is all based off of Sunday morning cartoons, or not cartoons, Sunday morning comic strips, most of which I'm pretty sure you've never seen, because there are some that I've never seen, and I'm a bit older than you are. I mean, Heathcliff, yes. Kathy, I only know because my aunt was named Kathy, so I'd always see those comics. The Phantom, never saw it in the comics. Pogo, no clue. No clue.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
These
lost on me.
guys, too. Yeah, I mean, this has always been the island that was kind of lost from the start, but I love it. The theming in here is great. The giant Betty Boop, the I'm pretty sure racist character playing the piano.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't know. But the kinetic energy is always great in here too. Like the water flow that goes down and into the pipe, and then look, it comes right back up over there. Oh, isn't that amazing? But I do feel like, yes, they've taken down the word balloon. I don't see any of the old word balloons. Remember how you used to stand and there'd be a word balloon over your head?
Oh
Do you
yeah.
remember? Yeah, I don't see any of those anymore.
Hopefully those come back. They're fun. At least we still got the giant sandwich though.
Yeah. Yes, the home of the Dagwood. Again, I know that barely. Pluto's build rat barges, which is probably the wettest attraction in Orlando. Okay,
Yeah,
see, and there goes the rain.
gotta love Florida.
We're gonna walk down into Sweet Haven because I I can remember the first time I actually did this, and it was when we were coming out of COVID, when we were doing more of the walk and talks just for stuff to do. And I've been in this park since very close to opening. I've never eaten at Wimpy's. I don't. There's so many different small eateries here that I think I always end up at the same three. I've definitely done Bluto's a few times, but then you kind of walk down here, and then you hit the exit, and then there's the Me Ship Olive, which is just a kind of a play area. But then, we have the human dryers because it's raining. Okay, now we're clearing out of the crowd. And if we start to lose, let me know and I'll turn around and head back. But yes, there's the Me Ship the Olive, which is just a playground. The slide, just like all the other slides, is closed off, But then there's this fun walkway back here. And I'm pretty sure this was built just like a lot of the other spaces for extended queue for Blutos, but it just never happened. But you get a great view of the ride trough. Here comes one of the rafts.
Jeremiah, I think you need to find one of those the little cranks to squirt water at the riders.
I have to go up to the top of the ship for that one.
Ah. And you can't even
the rain is kicking back in. So the water coming off the ship, or the dinghy, isn't enjoying that much because I remember being soaked by this point. But yeah, you can kind of see that there's some of the crank fountains up on the top of the ship, so guests can join in. And the best part is the rafts almost get stuck right in that little spot right there. So now we're walking down these stairs. And then we start to see some of the like random things like the giant bird eggs. I don't think those are the Jeep eggs, but they have these down here. They have a house with a fish caught in it. And it's just, things that it's so off the beaten path. And that was one of the things I loved about this park was how detailed they went. Flying fish crossing, and then the signs, just those signs. And look at the shark fins swimming in and out of the Misha Olive.
We're gonna
And
need
of
a
course,
bigger barge.
yeah. Yeah, and then all of these poles are speakers, so people that are out here can hear them. But this is also one of the best views of the Hulk, Seuss Landing, the #1 rated restaurant by Theme Park Insider 10 years in a row, roughly 20 years ago.
The sign's back, isn't it? They took it down for a little bit. The banner.
It is, but it doesn't say the years. It just says Theme Park Insider.
Okay.
It says best restaurant. There is the X marks the spot. Just the smallest little detail. Sorry.
Before you keep moving on, look back over at Mythos.
Yes.
Maybe a little bit farther to the right. I think we just need to relish in that view of Rip Ride Rocket one last time.
Yeah.
Before it closes in August. Yeah. I know some people really hate Rip Ride Rocket, but I think it's a lot of fun.
That was one of those ones that I was never a big fan of. Like, I enjoyed the novelty. Okay, now the rain's really starting to come down. The novelty of the, choose your own soundtrack, and that drop was always fun. Okay, let's keep moving on and see how far we can get before I just have to go. I'm stopping before my gimbal takes a nosedive. That happened to us once. We were coming around by Tiana's, and all of a sudden my gimbal just goes, oh.
Something about that happening in Toon Lagoon feels right, though.
Yes.
Especially with the sound effect.
I also enjoy the fact that I'm trying to dry off my face as the rain just gets harder and harder.
Yeah, no, it looks pretty bad right now. I'm sorry, Jeremiah.
Yeah. Here's one of my favorite spots. If a raft comes by, which it's not. Okay.
Oh no.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you've ever wondered what it's like to be a theme park reporter in Orlando in the middle of the afternoon, you know what? Hang on, let's do it this way. Right here.
Uh-oh. Well, hi everybody. I think Jeremiah just disconnected, so you're gonna deal with me for just a second. I've been reading the comments over here, and we have Kyle saying that the pressure on those cannons is so high that it stings. And personally, I think that's what makes it fun. If it was just like a little drip, that wouldn't be as much fun. So I know earlier we were talking about Jurassic World and Jurassic Park and working those attractions. So something really interesting about Jurassic World in Hollywood versus Jurassic Park in Orlando is that the run out in Hollywood, because of the limited space, is very short and has brake fins. And because of that, the operator in the ride booth at the 80-foot, which is what we refer to as the area right before you get on the drop, there are actually 2 hand sensors. So as the boats are turning the corner towards the Indominus Rex and towards the T-Rex, you actually have to put your hands down on these 2 sensors to kickstart that third lift tilt to send the boats over. So in a way, working that attraction is very much like a game of timing, And I did take a trip while I was working there to Islands of Adventure and was talking to the team members that worked there. And they do not have the same thing. They still have an operator up there, but the operator up there is just for surveillance. They don't have any like buttons or sensors that they have to press to make that happen, which is really cool. And we have Jeremiah back, so we're going to bring him back on. There we go. Welcome back.
Yep. Yeah, the rain hit the camera or hit the phone and just shut it down. I'm currently standing in a small overhang in a puddle. I pretty much came back to say thank you for joining us, everyone. We hope you enjoyed this quick stroll around 2 of the adventure islands or islands of adventure. Yeah, go see Jurassic World Rebirth in the theaters near you.
Exactly. We didn't get to see the dinosaurs today, so go to the theaters and see them.
Exactly. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to hide in the AP lounge.
I think that's smart. I'm so sorry.
I'll talk to you later, and everybody, thank you for joining us. Keep track of what we're doing by following us on our socials, Facebook, YouTube, subscribe, like, and you will hopefully see us in another drier area. I'm going to say goodbye.
Perfect. Yeah.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye. Thanks, Jeremiah.